Hey, what's up, Anthony? I put you on speaker. I'm with Kevin now.
Hey, listen, I got the call we've been waiting for. Diamond View is going Hollywood with the WWE. It's happening. It's going down.
And it's due when? I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding.
We've got 3 weeks of pre-pro before we arrive on set, fellas.
A couple years ago, we did a Superstar ID where we had 40 superstars come through 3 different sets. One of them was virtual with an Unreal background, and that was a lot of fun working with the superstars and with WWE. They came back to us with this new project that they had for promoting WrestleMania 39, which was WrestleMania Goes Hollywood.
This project was 6 very different vignettes that we were going to shoot over the course of 2 days. So the first thing we needed to decide was if this was going to be, shot on location, shot in a virtual studio, or trying to find a blend of both.
Virtual production to me is set extension. You have a few pieces of practical staging and then these giant LED walls behind it used together with Unreal really kind of expands the set that you're on. I think a lot of people think when it's virtual production that it's quick, you just throw up a background and then you're shooting. It's much more complicated than that, especially when you have these big set builds that you have to do because you have to allow for time. It's gonna be crucial for us to plan the logistics of these shoot days as efficiently as possible.
Typically, we tell our clients we need about 12 weeks from project kickoff to completion. This obviously was moving a lot faster, so it was really important for us to trust our team at Diamond View and our partners in View Studios and really double down and trust our production process.
Well, you begin with the math. First thing that I knew we needed to nail down was art department. In association with that, developing the backgrounds, because those 2 elements, while they were handled by different teams, were really one element.
I spent a good bit of time just breaking down each of those scenes as far as wardrobe, props, all the details of a set. As soon as we had our wardrobe and set designers in place, we did our best to get them the information and to have a communication back and forth on what those details were.
To shoot these on the volume, to utilize that space, we decided and we knew we were pushing for a partner like Diamond View.
I think projects are really won in the pre-production phase. If you go in with a good plan and you really have everything buttoned up in pre-production, it allows that flexibility and allows you to capture those moments that magically and organically happen, hoping for the best experience on set.
Day 1, scene 1. Here we go.
So our environment was this aircraft carrier. It was really important for us to be able to see the tower on the aircraft carrier and the American flag waving and all that to really, again, land us in this world and make it feel that much more alive. Miz and Maurice came in like ready to go, knowing their lines. A lot of the technicality of this scene was pacing and movement. It was really important for our talent and for me that their lines and their characters match what they are in the WWE. So it's authentic to them, but also staying inspired by Top Gun.
I'm running around trying to make sure we're going to get the first shot off on time. On one of my flybys to the green room, I stop and say hello to Miz. We're 5 minutes from walking to set. He's wearing these aviator glasses. He thinks it's really important that he needs a piece of business. He needs to know when to take those glasses off because he acts a lot with his eyes. You're going to want to see the reaction on his face through his eyes. They get nuance. They get what it takes to sell a story.
Seeing Miz light up was amazing. You see the volume and you can see the space, right? I think seeing it in the monitor is a totally different experience than seeing the set itself.
That's a wrap, everybody! Just the set build and the environment, which, again, Steve Erdberg and our art department put so much time and detail into making this look exactly like the set. The second key part was RHEA's performance and really building that tension right away. The first take, we all knew this was going to be absolutely amazing and a super fun shoot. Well, the third is the can crush just moment on how that looks.
My gosh!
It really came down to our art department. They sent us a test during pre-production of the can crushing with a vacuum through the bottom, and it was just right away we were like, no, this has got to be practical.
And then you got your crushed can gag.
The camera doesn't move at all. There's literally 2 shots throughout the entire scene. We mirrored that with 2 cameras in the Unreal environment. And so this one is really about finding the specifics and finding the details of the props and the environment and making that as authentic as possible. And our practical art team was able to recreate the exact lamps as they were in the film. And then once we had those on set, we did a 3D scan of those lamps, and we were able to bring that back into Unreal and repopulate our Unreal environment with the same exact lamps.
When you think of who's at the top of the mountain, you think of the Bloodline, you think of Roman Reigns, you think of Paul Heyman, and to be able to see them in our studio deliver their scene at such a high level, you can really see the charisma between each other.
The scene ends with a breakaway bottle. Roman Reigns grabbing a breakaway bottle from the table, smashing it over the head, and it collapses.
Just seeing the glass shatter in that moment reminded me of what it is to be a fan and the audience, of just that surprise element, and to be able to give a nod to the original vignette was really cool.
You really are a funny tribal chief.
From the beginning, we knew this was going to be the most complicated one to pull off. It was very clear early on that we weren't going to be able to find a practical location to shoot this in. So Unreal was definitely the answer right away to get this as closely as possible. There were so many benefits of shooting this virtually. One was that we were able to have our practical set kind of move within the virtual environment. I really kind of saw the scene broken into 2 scenes. What turned out to be so much fun was seeing Seth and Becky and their interaction together. It was definitely like the extension of the inspiration, but being able to make it WWE's own was crucial there.
Because I'm the man.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, that's a wrap on Becky and Seth.
1, 2.
The idea that we got to sort of fill Steve Carell's shoes for a minute felt really, really exciting. Felt like I was walking into that movie set.
The waxing scene was featuring the Brawling Brutes. A big key to this was special effects makeup, having that team come in 4 hours early and apply an entire chest of hair to Ridge Holland.
Jesus, Hasselhoff. Where did all that come from?
So that when he takes his shirt off, we have that first reveal. It's something that we don't normally see. That was a really nice touch for WWE for the fans. You know, the whole screaming and reactions is really what makes that work. He also ad-libbed a bunch. This scene probably had the most ad-libbing, as you might imagine, when you get these 4 guys together.
Banger of a job. This is not a good look for me!
Our final scene was Bianca Belair and Montez Ford on the bow of this ship. Based on the original shots in the original film, we really kind of kept that as minimal as possible. Obviously using the virtual environment to create the world and the sky and the rest of the ship. This was probably the biggest actual set build that we had that we brought into the Unreal environment.
I got a chance to share a conversation with Montez Ford, which was one of the superstars who was highlighted in that vignette, and he was just like thinking to himself, man, like, I can't believe, like, I remember watching this 20 years ago when I was a young kid. I never thought I'd ever be in front of the camera, and to think that I'm now in one of these vignettes that I watched so many years ago. Montez and I had that kind of similar moment, but it was cool that we had that connection where we had seen this Hollywood series go out 20 years prior, and to be able to be a part of it was a really cool moment for both of us.
You ready? 3, 2.
We really had a good time. It just felt like we were creating something fun. Everybody wanted to be there. Everybody wanted to put their best foot forward, create something really special.
Really was the perfect team to pull this off.
View was the perfect partner for us on this project, and we really couldn't have done it without their virtual art team. You know, they designed some amazing backgrounds for our sets. It just worked out perfectly, and we definitely couldn't have done it without their awesome partnership. Or just the sheer size of the volume that they have in Orlando. That was pretty critical in us being able to shoot the scenes that we did in the volume, as well as the space that we had to shoot our scenes practically in our set builds.
We were able to achieve something that on paper, we were like, this is like not gonna happen. Everybody just came together and worked really well. Honestly, I just can't wait to get back to Diamond View to do more.
You know, director, DP gets way more credit than we should. Calling out our costume designer and our set builders, the whole art department, even to the painters on set, our virtual production team, producing team that has been going crazy with logistics. It's really important for me to give credit back to all of them, and as well as thanking the client for trusting us to tell these stories. We don't get to play in these sandboxes unless they trust us to do that. So I always want to make sure that I acknowledge them and the entire team that makes it possible.